Hello and welcome back to Alex FPL. Today we'll be discussing goalkeepers in FPL ranked from elite all the way down to avoid. Starting with tier D, avoid. This one's an easy one. Onana at Manchester United. I definitely don't think anyone's going to be thinking about going with him from the start of the season, but if you are, please change your mind. There's so many other better assets in this department. I urge you to look elsewhere. Next goalkeeper to avoid would be Areola at West Ham, or indeed any goalkeeper at West Ham. There's a lot of changes happening. Fabianski's been sold. There's rumours they're buying 2 more keepers. Stay away from this whole saga until we know more. Also, West Ham were very defensively poor last season, so this decision is very, very easy. Avoid. Next up, we have tier C, risky. Starting with Vicario at Spurs. New manager, very complicated season last year. I'm not sure I'd be backing Vicario to start off with at least, maybe later on in the season, but he's not a pick I would recommend for game week 1. Then we have Kelleher at Brentford's. I like Kelleher as a keeper. I'm just not sure about Brentford this season. They've been absolutely gutted over the summer. I don't know the impact this is going to have on their defensive stats. I would wait and see. This could potentially be a good option further down the season. He's only 4.5, good price point. But again, I need to see more before I think about having him in my team. So for now, I put him under risky. Next up, we have tier B, decent. So I've started with Edison here. Great pick in terms of clean sheets. Nailed, definitely no potential keeper coming up behind him. The only problem with Edison, if you want to call it a problem, is his lack of save points throughout the season. So City's the kind of team that doesn't really concede a lot of shots on target. So you're very unlikely to see Edison picking up any of those bonus points or those save points, which do make a difference over the course of a season. So he's all right. He's a decent pick. I just prefer other goalkeepers to start the season with. Then we have Nick Pope at Newcastle. I don't mind this pick. I think he can definitely have stages throughout the season where he's a great keeper. The reason I've put him in decent is I don't love Newcastle's opening fixtures, and there's a little bit of uncertainty around their defensive stats now that they're going to have to face a bit more turnover now that they're in Europe. So this could be a potential factor, one to watch for me, but I wouldn't be starting the season with him. Leno is a decent pick and goal. He had 142 stops last year, second only to Pickford. I just don't think Fulham will be keeping enough clean sheets for him to be a S tier or A tier keeper. Finally, in B tier, we have Kinski, the backup goalkeeper for Spurs. So they paid 12.5 million for him back in January of this year. Some are saying he may take Vicario's place. I personally don't see that happening, but there is a very small chance that could happen. So I don't mind him as a second goalkeeper pick at 4 million. Alternatively, just pick the 4 million goalkeeper who's playing backup to the first goalkeeper you're going with. That's always a safe bet. Now for the A tier, so the good picks. We have first up Verbruggen at Brighton. So definitely a keeper that will be keeping some clean sheets this season. His price point is really good at 4.5. Can't really go too wrong here. Don't expect too much from him, but a solid pick that can just sit in your goal and guarantee you points every now and again. Next up, Emiliano Martinez at Aston Villa. Historically, a fantastic keeper for FPL. The only word of warning I would give is that he is suspended for game week 1, so I would not recommend Martinez as a game week 1 pick. However, definitely a keeper to keep your eyes on. Someone who has always been really good at attracting bonus points because of how many saves he makes throughout the match. So even at 5 million, I quite like him as a pick, but again, not from game week 1. Next, we have Sarr at Wolves. I had him for a big spell of last season. Very consistent returner of points. Again, he plays for a team that concede a lot of shots, so you'll get plenty of save points and bonus points from him. He, of course, will not guarantee you the clean sheets that a top 6 side would, but again, for his price point of 4.5, very good pick. Final pick in the A tier, we have Alisson at Liverpool. Similar to Edison, he's great for clean sheets, probably won't score you that many bonus points or save points because, again, Liverpool is not really the kind of team that's conceding lots of shots on target. The reason why I've placed him slightly above Edison is just because of City's performance last year, the fact that they didn't keep as many clean sheets as we were expecting. I could very well see Edison moving up or Alisson moving down a tier if I were to remake this video halfway through the season. But as of right now, given the information that we have, I would put Alisson slightly above Edison. So Alisson, my final pick for the A tier. Finally, we have the S tier. So these are picks that I consider elite. Any one of these I would absolutely recommend. First up, and this is my favorite pick of all, I've personally gone with him in my team. It's Sanchez in goal for Chelsea. The reason I've gone with him is Chelsea's back four. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like this season. Obviously, Cucurella is a great pick, but I'm not sure about how many minutes he's going to get, whether he faces rotation now that Chelsea's playing in Europe. I really think Sanchez is your best route into that defense. He's nailed. He's only 5 million. I definitely think I'm going to start the season with Sanchez. Then we have Sells in goal for Nottingham Forest. So we're seeing lots of managers go with Forest assets in their defensive line. I myself am also going with either Murillo or Milenkovic in the back. So many people might not want to double up on the Nottingham defense by going with Sells as well. However, if you're not backing a defender from Nottingham Forest in game week 1, Sells could be a fantastic pick for you to go in goal. Great defensive stats last season. Had a tiny bit of a drop off towards the end of the season, but as they're not playing in Europe this season, or we'll find out on the 11th of August, but it doesn't look like they're going to be featuring in Europe this season. I'm thinking that squad could really hold up. So again, Sales is a fantastic pick for game week 1. Next up, we have Raya in goal for Arsenal. So Arsenal had one less clean sheet than Liverpool last season, Liverpool being the best defense for clean sheets in the 24-25 Premier League season. However, if we look at the goals conceded stat, Arsenal averaged 0.89 goals per match, whereas Liverpool had 1.08 per match. So in terms of goals conceded throughout the whole season, Arsenal were actually the best defense throughout the whole campaign. So again, for that reason, Raya is a fantastic pick to go in goal. He is 5.5 million, which potentially could be a consideration for you depending on your squad. However, if you're not going for any Arsenal assets at the back, Raya could be a fantastic long-term pick. If for some reason you're planning on doing a wild card quite early in the season, then I wouldn't go with Raya, as his opening fixtures aren't amazing. But normally with keepers, we're looking a lot longer than 3 or 4 game weeks. We're looking at 10, 15 game weeks. So Raya is absolutely an S tier pick. Last but not least, we have Pickford in goal for Everton. So I never go for Pickford, but I always regret it because throughout the whole campaign, he's the kind of keeper that does well. Everton statistically have been seen to do quite badly at the start of each season, but then end up finishing quite strong. So maybe if you are going for Pickford, think of him as a very long-term pick and not the kind of keeper that you want to be rotating or taking out after a few game weeks if you're doing a wild card. If you're going for Pickford, try and stick to him for the whole season. He plays for a fantastic defense in Everton. They had 12 clean sheets last season, and they only came behind Forest, City, Liverpool, and Arsenal in terms of clean sheets throughout the season. Again, with the back line conceding a lot of shots, he's very involved in the game. He's going to be absolutely raking in those bonus points, those save points, and throwing in some clean sheets as well. I see Pickford being absolutely in the top 3 or 4 keepers next season. One to think about. Now, if you're asking yourself if there's some keepers missing from this list, yeah, I haven't included any of the newly promoted sides keepers, simply because they're never ever a good idea. I would never advise anyone to go there. There's too many unknowns. Of course, we could think differently if throughout the season we notice that, for example, Burnley are parking their bus game after game and are managing to keep clean sheets. We may start to think differently. However, given what the information that we have right now, on the whole, I would advise to steer clear from any of the newly promoted sides keepers for game week 1. Also not featured in this video are Henderson of Palace and Kepa at Bournemouth. The reason is I tend to find that the attacking assets from both of these teams are very well priced, making it easy for us to afford triple. For example, last season we went with triple Crystal Palace. A lot of our teams had Eze, Sarr, and Mateta in them. If you pick a keeper from that team, you're then limiting yourself from not being able to do that tactic at any point in the season. So that's the reason why I haven't featured them in this video. They're great keepers by all means. I just think you shouldn't pick them just to allow yourself that potential triple up on attacking players at some point in the season. If you do want to back their defense, then keep an eye out for my next video when we break down the best defenders in FPL. Well, that's it for this one. If you found it useful, please like and subscribe. It means so much to me, and I'm still very early in my YouTube journey, so every single piece of engagement really helps. In the next video, we'll be ranking the best FPL defenders. See you there. Thanks for watching.